Hello everybody. In this video I am going to discuss how to build a minor scale on the bass guitar, also known as pure minor, natural minor scale. There's a lot of different terms for the same thing, but we'll just call it a minor scale. And in a previous video I showed the chromatic scale on the bass guitar. And discussed the letter names of the notes. Another video I discussed half steps and whole steps on the bass guitar, different places you can play them in different patterns. And from there, when you have knowledge of the letter names of the notes on the fretboard, and then knowledge of whole steps and half steps, how to construct those, then the next step is to put those whole steps and half steps together to build modes and scales. And in this video we'll focus specifically on minor scale. And for our purposes here, we're going to begin on the 5th fret on the E string. And I know that letter is letter A from practicing chromatic scales up and down the bass and memorizing note names. But for now, what we're going to do is focus mainly on the whole steps and half steps that build the scale. So there's our first note of the minor scale. Next note is a whole step away, which is 7th fret. Next note is half step away, which is 8th fret on the E. Next note is a whole step away, 10th fret. Whole step, 12th fret. Half step, 13th fret. Whole step, 15th. And another whole step, which finishes out the scale, and that's 17th fret. So ascending, you have your root note or starting note, whole step, half, whole, whole, half, whole, and whole. And now descending, always think of the descending patterns too. Starting note, down a whole, whole, half, whole, whole, half, and whole. So going up, starting out, whole step, half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole. Going down, starting note, whole step, half, whole, whole, half, and whole. And now you get a really good visual of the combination of whole steps and half steps when it's played on a single string. And I was using index finger to show it initially. Then I started using different finger patterns, and so then you could, first finger, third finger, first finger, third finger, whole step, half, whole step, whole step. So I play the scale: whole, half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole, just by knowing the patterns, that formula. Okay, so now we're going to take that concept and then move it across strings. So starting note, whole step, half, whole, whole, half. Instead of going to this 13th fret on the E string, what I'm going to do is, the 15th fret on the E string, instead of going to that 15th fret, because that's the next note, it's a whole step, I'm going to go to 10th fret on the A, because that 15th fret on the E, 10th fret on the A, that's the same pitch. And then I know I'm almost to the end of the formula. I have to go one more whole step to finish out that minor scale. Whole, half, whole, whole, half, whole step, whole step. So just by knowing the different combinations of whole steps and half steps, I changed the pattern of the minor scale that I played. And we could play it here. Starting out whole step, half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole, descending. That's on 2 strings. Maybe go across 3 strings. Whole step, half, whole, whole, half, whole, and whole, descending. Whole, whole, half, whole, whole, half, whole. So all these examples, I've been using my index finger to start the scale. This time let's use pinky. So here's our pinky, and on the 5th fret, 2nd fret on the A string is a whole step from that 5th fret on the E. So thinking of that minor scale pattern, whole step, half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole, descending, target note, whole, whole, half, whole, whole, half, whole. So just in that short amount of time, we've played it, that string, across to the A string there, across to the A string there, across 3 strings, and then starting here. And that's 5 different ways to play the scale, just by knowing that whole, half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole pattern for the minor scale. Now, once you get comfortable with that, I mean, you can play that for days, different places on the bass. We can start applying the letter names that are associated with the frets that we're playing in that scale. So, for example, that's A. I know from the formula, the minor scale formula, that the next note is a whole step away, and then from the chromatic scale exercises previously, going over all the letter names on the fretboard, I know that that's a letter B. Half step, I know that that's a letter C. Now I want to go another whole step in the minor scale formula, which puts me here. I know that that's letter D. Whole step, letter E, half step, letter F, whole step, letter G, whole step, letter A, and that finishes out the scale. So 8 notes. That's why it's called an octave, because there's 8 letter names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So going back, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and A. So no matter where I play that, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Just same here. A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Maybe come down a different way. A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Maybe you can do that. So it's just as many different variations as you can think of, because getting stuck in one finger pattern for a minor scale, okay, you figure that, you know, a player figures this scale out here, that pattern. It's very limited. It's really good to start there if that's comfortable for you, but then as soon as you become comfortable with that, break out of that comfort zone and go to different places of the bass, and so you get a knowledge of the scale and how it can be played all over the bass. Another thing you can do is do octaves or play higher parts of the instrument. Again, in different ways. And I'm still thinking tonic note, whole step, half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole. Descending, tonic, together. Descending. Oop. Let me try that one again. Maybe play it right here. So again, it's great to go around, and you can tell it just really gets your brain thinking of different places you can play the minor scale. And after you figure that out, then you can start beginning the scale on different notes. For example, if you start here, I can think, okay, whole step, half, whole, half, whole, whole, half, whole, half, whole. I don't even know what note I'm starting on, but I know that minor scale formula and how it pertains to how to build on the bass. Then if I go back and say, okay, that note is C, I can figure out, okay, C, whole step, D, I need an E of some kind for the next note, and that's E flat, F, G, I need an A of some kind, that's going to be an A flat, B, it's going to be a B flat, and C. So by practicing those chromatic scales, learning all the letter names of the notes on the bass, and then applying that minor scale formula, then you can figure out the letter names of all the minor scales. So I hope this sheds some light on how to build and play minor scales on the bass guitar, and just have fun with it. You can come up with different variations, different patterns, different rhythms, and who knows, you can write some really cool bass lines just using notes of the minor scale. So until next time.